Hello and welcome. This week we have the message brought to us by Denis who's kicking off our series on the Book of Psalms, which could be considered as Israel's hymn book. Here he starts with Psalm 130. Carry on listening and we hope you enjoy it. God bless. See you next time.
So usually when you picture ancient religious texts, you imagine this aura of total serenity.
Right, like flowing robes and perfect peace.
Exactly, just everyone singing these uplifting, joyful hymns. But today's deep dive is, it's custom tailored for our listener who sent over this transcript. It's a sermon exploring the Book of Psalms.
Specifically Psalm 130 and the songs of ascent.
Yeah, and it totally shatters that peaceful image. I mean, we are looking at a 3,000-year-old songbook that is just overflowing with raw anxiety and guilt and, just the sheer messiness of being human.
It's honestly incredibly validating. Like, the whole mission here is to see how this ancient collection maps directly onto our very modern struggles.
Right, so let's unpack this. The sermon frames these songs of ascent, which is Psalms 120 through 134, as essentially an ancient road trip playlist.
The road trip playlist.
Yeah, for Jewish pilgrims traveling to festivals in Jerusalem, and then priests would actually sing them on the 15 steps leading up to the temple. But the irony here is just wild to me. Like, you're heading to a massive, joyous festival, and your opening track, Psalm 120, is all about distress and deceitful tongues.
Oh, yeah, it's so bleak.
It's really bleak. Like, why start there?
Well, what's fascinating here is the psychology behind it.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't just leave their actual lives at home when they went on a pilgrimage.
Yeah, that makes sense.
They brought their sick relatives, their financial panic, their family drama. So starting with a song about distress, it doesn't ruin the mood. It actually validates their suffering.
Oh, I really like that. So instead of, toxic positivity, it's more like communal solidarity.
Exactly.
You're standing there with thousands of other people acknowledging that life is hard right before you even try to enter a holy space.
Precisely. Trouble just came right along with them on the road. And, sometimes that trouble wasn't external at all.
Right.
Sometimes it was entirely self-inflicted.
And here's where it gets really interesting, because that's where Psalm 130 hits so hard. It starts with, "Out of the depths I cry."
Yeah, the depths.
And I was really struck by this road rage story in the sermon to illustrate this.
Oh, man, that story.
Yeah, it's so relatable, though. So this guy is, he's driving his family to a graduation.
Right.
And someone runs a red light and almost hits them.
Which is terrifying on its own.
Totally. So he just aggressively lays on the horn, just lays into it, holding it down.
As you do when you're panicked, honestly.
Right. But then his wife points out that the other driver, this woman who made the mistake, looks absolutely terrified.
Oh, God.
But he snaps back at his wife because technically he was legally in the right.
Right. He had the right of way, sure.
But it completely ruined his peace. Like, he realized later that being right wasn't enough. He chose anger over grace.
Yeah.
And basically threw himself into his own personal depths.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, it's a brilliant way to reframe how we view sin in this text.
Yeah, how so?
Well, it's not just some checklist of moral failings. It's the active wedge we drive between ourselves and our highest ideals.
Oh.
Yeah, so when we lack compassion, we isolate ourselves, we dig the hole, we jump in, and then we realize, oh, wait, I'm stuck in the dark.
And once you're in that hole, there's that agonizing realization that you can't instantly fix it. You just have to sit there and wait.
Which is where the sermon brings in that incredible metaphor, the watchman waiting for the morning.
Right.
Picture this ancient city guard, sitting in the pitch black, just scanning the horizon for enemy attacks.
That sounds absolutely terrifying.
It is. I mean, it's tense, it's dangerous, and they are just desperate for the sun to come up.
So they can see what's out there.
Yes, and just so they can finally drop their guard and get some rest.
When I read that part, it instantly made me think of that 3 a.m. anxiety we all get.
Oh, absolutely.
Just lying awake in the dark, replaying a fight with a friend, or stressing over a work deadline. We are basically those ancient watchmen.
We really are.
Just agonizing in the dark, waiting for some kind of resolution.
It's such a universal feeling, and the sermon makes it deeply personal, too. Like, there's a really powerful moment discussing his wife, Jane.
Oh, right, the job hunt.
Yeah, she spent 2 grueling years waiting for a school job.
Yeah.
And then he talks about his own 40-year wait hoping for his non-Christian family members to find faith.
40 years is a really long time.
It is. The waiting itself is this active, painful state of being.
So what does this all mean for us today? Because there's a major theological pivot here, contrasting how the ancients waited versus a modern Christian framework.
Right. This is a huge paradigm shift presented in the text.
Okay.
So the ancient psalmist in Psalm 130 is sitting in the dark, desperately hoping and waiting for forgiveness to eventually arrive.
Right, it's a waiting game.
But the text asserts that through Jesus, the wait for forgiveness is actually short-circuited.
Wait, short-circuited.
Yeah. You still have to do the hard work of acknowledging your missteps. Like, you have to own that road rage moment.
Sure, you can't just ignore it.
Exactly. But the moment grace is genuinely asked for, it is immediate and unconditional.
Oh, wow.
You don't have to wait for the morning sun to know you're forgiven.
That is instant relief from that specific 3 a.m. guilt.
It really is.
I mean, the external circumstances might still take years to resolve, like the job hunt or the family matters, but the internal isolation is broken immediately.
Exactly.
It's wild how well a 3,000-year-old playlist still maps onto the exact things keeping us awake at night.
Human nature hasn't changed, even if the commute has.
That is so true. But it does leave me wondering something.
How like that?
Well, if ancient cultures relied on a universally known communal songbook to process their deepest guilt and anxieties together, right there on those temple steps,
Yeah.
what exactly do we lose in our modern era by so heavily individualizing how we cope with our own inner depths?